Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce myself. My name is Vidya Ade, and I'm responsible for nutritionist. In today's presentation, I give an overview of instant noodles with rice, healthy or not. If there are any questions you'd like to ask, please leave them until the end when I'll do my best to answer them. I'll start by explaining about nutrient contained in instant noodles and rice. Then I will move on to the risks of eating instant noodle with rice. And lastly, I'll tell how to eat instant noodles with good nutrition. To begin with nutrient content in instant noodles and rice. There are many types and brands of instant noodles and have different amounts of nutritional content. However, most instant noodles tend to be low in calories, fiber, protein, and high in fat, carbohydrates, sodium, and micronutrients. In one serving of instant noodles contain 219 calories, contain 14% fat, 73% carbohydrates, and 13% protein. 3.3 grams of total fat, 40 grams of carbohydrates, 7 grams of protein, 46 milligram cholesterol, 378 milligram sodium, vitamin A 1%, calcium 2%, and iron 13%. Nutrients contained in rice. In one serving of rice the size of 180 grams contain 50 grams of carbohydrates. Although the levels are high, the carbohydrate in rice consists mostly of sugar and starch than fiber. In addition to carbohydrates, other nutrients content include vitamins B1, B2, B3, and B6, protein, phosphorus, iron, selenium, magnesium, and magnesium. Now, let's move on to risks. The risks of eating instant noodles with rice are as follows. First, excess carbohydrates. According to Medicpool, carbohydrates have properties that fill you up in a short time. Thus, the feeling of not wanting to eat increases and other nutrients the body needs are not met. The reason the body not only needs carbohydrates, but also protein, fat, and other minerals. Imbalanced nutrition will put you at risk for malnutrition. Second, increased insulin hormone. The combination of instant noodles and rice produces 750 calories only from carbohydrates, and this is not healthy for the body. When eating instant noodles with rice and carbohydrate enter the body, these foods will be digested into sugar and increase the hormone insulin. This hormone plays a role in creating energy in the body that is produced from sugar. But if there is too much sugar from carbohydrates, the hormone insulin cannot produce all of it. So, the rest of the insulin hormone triggers diabetes. Third, trigger liver damage. When you eat foods that contain excessive carbohydrates, the carbohydrates that enter the body will turn into other substances. For example, lack of fat, then carbohydrate turn into fat. Processed fat will be transferred to the liver as a digestive support system. This will trigger liver function damage. 4. Raise blood pressure. Instant noodles contain sodium, which increases blood pressure in the body. If this habit is done in the long term, it can increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. And 5. Makes a pot belly. Excess carbohydrates make a person's stomach circumference large because saturated fat in the body. If this condition is constantly ignored, it can lead to obesity or overweight, and can harm your health in the long term. This leads me to my next point, which how to eat instant noodles with good nutrition. Instead of adding rice, it is better to mix vegetables, meat, or eggs in instant noodles. Although not fully healthy, but at least there are still ingredients that can be processed quickly in the body. In conclusion, you cannot eat instant noodles with rice because it's not healthy. This can be seen from the nutrients contained in instant noodles and rice, the risks, and finally, there are tips for eating instant noodles with good nutrition. That brings the presentation to an end. I'd like to thank you all for your attention and interest. If anyone has any question, I'll do my best to answer them.